Well, you could call me a white guy.
This is Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass in that, well, actually, let me just get Deuteronomy 28.
Okay.
That goes into the curse.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, because this was a curse. This actually happened as a curse. Is that these people, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they disobeyed the commandments of God. And so the Lord put them in slavery, had other nations attack them, put them in slavery, kill them, right, rob them, and then scatter them, sold them into slavery in different provinces throughout the world. And so through the process of time of these people being amongst these other nations, they started procreating, having kids, having families. Now you have generations of people that have mingled with other nations. That's why the Lord get Revelation 7 when it goes into nations, kindreds, and tongues. Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people from the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Yeah. So,
are you guys also Christians?
Well, you could call us that. Exactly. We do. We believe in what the Lord said, but we don't recognize him as Jesus Christ. Yeah, what are you going to say about it? What do you think Jesus Christ said? Yeah, we're the little children, okay?
When you're talking, what you say is so wonderful. Children don't understand what you're saying.
Well, no, the children of the Lord are going to understand. All right? Because the Lord said, I choose you. Right? Get St. John 14 and 15. Watch. It's going to explain it right here. But look, going into people that are going to be looking like different nations that are going to actually be of these people. Right? And how are you going to know who they are? It's a spiritual thing. If you don't have a spiritual sense, we'll get that too. Baruch 4, yeah, you remember that. Watch. Baruch 4 and 37, it says, Lo, thy sons come, which sons is talking about the nation of Israel, because he said, you are my firstborn, right? The children of Israel. Look, the Most High, he said, I have not dealt so with any other nation. Like, he only cares about the Israelites. And that's in the Bible, and I'm proving to you. Baruch 4 and 37, Lo, thy sons come, who thou sentest away. Scattered, right? Scattered throughout all the four corners of the earth, amongst all these different nations. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High. So this word is actually what's going to gather the different people that are of these people that are actually scattered amongst these other nations. They actually look like these other nations. Not only that, you got brothers that look like these nations that are scattered amongst them as well. All right, go ahead.
God, the one in St. John 14
and 15.
God, this is St. John 14 and 15. And if you love me, keep my commandments.
Which is why we're out here, because this is a commandment that we're supposed to go out and preach to all nations as a witness. Go ahead.
God, it says, God, and I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever.
Now, the comforter is talking about the Bible, the scriptures, all these different books that's contained in the Bible. Because the word Bible means collection of books. Go ahead.
God, even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not.
Read that again.
Even the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it seeth him not.
So the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive. So if it sounds like what I'm saying is complicated, that's because you're not able. This is in the New Testament. This is St. John 14 and 15. So if you can't receive what I'm saying, if you can't understand it, that's because you weren't meant to understand it. That's because you're either of another nation, or you could be a scattered Israelite that's just destined to be destroyed. Because that's in the Bible. Because 2/3 of the nation of Israel, his own chosen people, they were the ones that delivered up so-called Jesus Christ to the cross. And so now, and they said, let his blood be upon our head and our children's head. So now in these times, they're going to have to pay for that.
Hey, listen, you know what? Those things that got Jesus killed, they do not represent Jesus. Nobody ever had to get into it. They do not represent.
Well, they were the people. They were the people.
They were not elected.
They're going to be judged for it.
They were not
if you do something like, let me ask you this.
They were elected.
But wait,
sorry.
But wait. So If you were to go and murder somebody right now, do you think that you should have to pay for that?
Yeah.
So, if you were one of these people that delivered Jesus Christ to the Romans to be crucified, you don't think you should have to pay for that? Then you're agreeing with me.
Wait a minute. There was a bunch of Jews that did nothing to Jesus.
There is, and they're going to be, they're part of the 1/3. They're going to be saved.
Right. So if you say that Jesus killed Christ, you're wrong.
I didn't. Yeah, some of them. 2/3, the majority of them. Zechariah 13 and 8. The majority of them.
Handful of Jews that did everything else. It's a handful. We're more Jews for it.
Go ahead.
But if you want to, this man has a question. Y'all gotta get on this side.
Yeah,
But
come
if you
on.
look at the sign, I mean, it's edifying to itself.
So what was your question?
Well, we're from the tribe of Ham, Noah's son.
Okay, and you believe that you are from the
No,
tribe?
I don't believe it. I'm asking the question.
Okay, no. You wouldn't be considered from the tribe of Ham. All right,
Okay.
there's a difference. Get Exodus 4 and 6.
I'm
Okay.
impressed with my whole Bible.
Well, I mean, we were ordained to do this.
This is Exodus chapter 4,
Oh, from
verse
the
6.
tribe of Judah.
You would be, I believe you
Judah
would.
means praise.
Yeah.
It's, the water,
Yeah, Yahweh thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, to answer your question, right? So the Canaanites, Hittites, Jebusites, you know about
Hivites,
yeah,
Gergesites.
Gergesites.
Yeah.
Okay, Sidonians, the Philistines.
Yeah.
These were from the line of Ham. The
Oh,
Egyptians,
okay.
the Egyptians were Hamites too. Okay. Now they were similar in skin tone and feature.
And
Right?
you had Japhet and Shem, right?
Then you had Japheth and Shem. Right. So get that in Exodus, Mark, son.
You said Exodus 4 and 6.
Exodus. Oh, 11 and 4.
This is Exodus chapter 11, verse 4. It says, And Moses said, Thus saith the Lord, About midnight will I go out into the midst of Egypt, and all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the meal, and all the firstborn of beasts.
Now, before he reads
Are
on,
you a Christian?
Now listen, hey,
hey, he's trying to learn something.
Hold on,
You're
hold on.
interrupting.
They're not Christians.
You're interrupting. So before he reads on, you know that the Egyptians, they would look so-called black, right? Okay, go ahead.
it says, And all the firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh that sitteth upon his throne, even unto the firstborn of the maidservant that is behind the wheat meal, and all the firstborn of beasts. And there shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as there was none like it, nor shall be like it any more. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that he may know that the Lord will make a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
It says so that you know that I put a difference between the Egyptians and between the Israelites. So the Ethiopians, which are from the tribe from the line of Cush, right, the different Canaanite tribes, pretty much Africans, they're from the line of Ham, and they're separate. Okay, the African Americans, as you would know, the Negroes, as you would know them today here in America, they're not the same people. They're actually a separate nation. In Deuteronomy 7 and 6, Bible shot, and then you're getting something out of that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read something. Go ahead and read something that you have.
All right, cool. It says, this is a book called, it's a history book, you know, you can read this online, it's free out there. It says, From Babylon to Timbuktu, a history of ancient black races, including the black Hebrews. All right? So,
And have you read the Bible, right? So you know that the scripture, and you know that it's beat like the Quran, as if it burned in the furnace. Obviously, it's not white.
okay. It says, this is,
Can you make a little space for the camera?
You're all right.
It says, this is right here. It says, page 87 says, The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thy enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Deuteronomy 28:45 verses. The Byzantine emperors in the 5th and 6th centuries persecuted the Jews constantly. Therefore, multitudes of Jews were compelled to migrate into the Sahara Desert to the south By this time, the Sahara Desert was heavily occupied with black Jews.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Now that I understand, read that. Why are we led to believe that the Israelites of today are the true Israelites?
Here, I'll read it for you.
Why the ones that are over there
The
right
skin
now?
tone that they have now.
Get 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3.
Can I get something else for you? Yes, you can see right here. Now, this is page 123. It says, "It is written, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation." Right here.
We can have a minute to speak with
Page
each other.
123. It says,
I'll just talk to you.
"It is written, they have said, come let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." Like the black Jews in America, some of the Jews of Guinea don't remember their original nationality.
Talk about it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
You, the way you're dressed, making fun of someone who's so different. Maybe this is how I cope to maintain my sanity.
That's like looking at
Yeah.
Where I am, and I know what
y'all
I'm doing.
remember their original nationality.
Not in a different perspective.
This is
Like,
horrible
maybe I do this for a
It's
reason,
very
so that I forget where I
all
am.
of the Hebrew kingdom.
Our kingdom, that we don't even have a king anymore.
And the Hebrew, what's another word for Hebrew?
There's no other word for Hebrew.
Is not?
No, no.
Okay. The elect.
Normally I would feel pride,
Jewish
but
education.
We lost the scriptures.
Because God said in His word, my people are destroyed for lack of
That's,
knowledge.
that's beautiful. Yeah.
But He also said in Luke 24:45, only He can open up you to the scripture.
Exactly, exactly.
But He said if you lack wisdom, ask and He would give it to you freely, which means liberally.
Yep. And he has.
What did I ask you?
And he has. Now that we're at the end of the day, he's saving our nation back. We're all be comforted. The education, the real education, and not this bullshit academia crap.
Just go to 2 Thessalonians. Because I read this earlier. This in the Apocrypha. You know about the Apocrypha.
Yes.
So Baruch 4:37 says, "Lo, thy sons come, who thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of the Most High." So that's why we put this thing up on the internet, because it goes out throughout the four corners of the earth. Everybody that's meant to receive it, because he said, you will hear a voice and it will say, "This is the way, walk
But why
in
is
it."
the spirit of deception so strong in our race to where we don't understand?
I'm going to show you 2 Thessalonians.
This is 2 Thessalonians.
9:24 again.
2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means.
So this is Paul speaking. This is back during the time of
Apostle Paul?
Roman. Yeah, Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Let no man deceive you by any means. For that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
Yeah, and then when you go into Jeremiah, it says, "Thou thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage." Okay, so there had to be a falling away first. So that means Israel had to lose who they were, and this would happen. This was a prophecy that would happen before the end. Go ahead.
Well, let me ask you this before you go there. We know they say it's a second coming, right?
That's right.
Do you believe that?
Yep.
The second coming of Christ?
There's definitely a second coming.
Okay. Let's go. I believe that too. Now, before that second coming, what about the 7-year tribulation, Jacob's trouble?
Yeah, that's coming. That's coming.
That's
soon.
coming afterward, right?
No, that's coming soon.
Oh, it's coming soon?
That's coming very soon. We're damn
Because
near
I
out
was
of
taught to
times.
believe that don't come till after he come and rapture the church out of here.
No, that's rapture. That rapture doctrine. There's nowhere in the scriptures that tells you that there's going to be a rapture. It says that the righteous shall scarcely be saved. So basically, as this, until you
But
start.
it said in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye,
Yes.
okay, we'll be taken out of here, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So is that, we don't use the word rapture, but that's what it's saying, that when the Lord comes, that's what it's how fast
Yeah.
he's going to get us out of here, right?
Yeah, yeah. But we're going to be going through Jacob's trouble.
Okay.
He's got. That's why it tells you in Daniel 12:1 that Michael the great prince will have to stand up for his people.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the
The
times are going to be
Archangel
so
Michael.
bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
because things are going to be so bad in these times that are coming.
Well, I see us right now, there's so much hatred in the earth amongst the race. There's so much hatred. Like the Bible said there in the last days, men's hearts are waxing cold.
Yeah.
Man, they don't have compassion for one another. People on the streets that kill people right now like if they were dead. They're not speaking truth. God said, look at the people also because he created us all.
Yeah, yeah. But he created us all for certain purposes. Now, when you read, when the Lord said, "Pray on this wise," and He says, "Let Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." Now, in heaven, everything's in order. You have
It's already done.
Yeah, you have hierarchies of angels. You got
Yeah.
lower levels, higher levels.
Right.
Well, the same way the nation of Israel was set up upon the earth to be the rulers of the earth. And all other nations were meant to be subject to the nation of Israel. The same way that the Israelites were put into slavery. All these other nations are supposed to be in subjection to the Israelites. You see what I'm saying? They're supposed to worship Israel. Israel's supposed to be teaching them the ways of the Most High. You see what I'm saying? But everything's backwards. Everything's flipped upside down. Because these other nations who know who the children of Israel are. You see what I'm saying?
So why are we so blinded to it? Why would they won't put this truth out in the open like you guys are doing here on the street?
You got what?
I got this.
Go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra 5:1. Nevertheless, as concerning the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith.
Where is this at?
2nd Ezra.
That's Apocrypha.
Oh, okay.
You can also get Isaiah 6 and 9. Because even the Lord, so-called Jesus Christ, he said himself, he said that your eyes are blind and your ears don't hear. Otherwise you would convert and I would have to heal you. But he don't want to heal all of them. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, a majority of them have to be punished for the things that they did. Right? Because he said there be some that stand here before me that shall not taste the sting of death. It said all eyes shall see him, even they that pierce him, Revelation 1 and 7. It says that because the Lord is bringing back all these old spirits.
And he also said, the Lord knoweth them that are his.
Exactly. He has care for his elect.
Yes. And he also said, my sheep hear my voice,
Yep.
but the stranger they will not follow. Yeah. So in other words, if you know the truth shall make you free. Not set you free, but make you free. So John 8:32, you should know the truth shall make you free.
And
But some people take the word and they put their own spin to it.
well, we're free men under the Lord because what we have is this knowledge, wisdom, understanding. So we know the will of the Lord. That's what makes us free. Okay? But you're still in captivity today. All right? That's why the mental enslavement.
You mean bondage?
You're in bondage. All right? We're in heavy bondage. All right? These people, they're in heavy bondage. All right? They took them out of a physical slavery and put them into a mental slavery. The Emancipation Proclamation, that was nothing but it was just another form of slavery. They said we can't keep them in this hardcore slavery because they're growing in number.
Do
Eventually,
you
they're going to
believe it
revolt.
was God's will for them to take Africans out of their own country and bring them over here and suppress them into a lifestyle of not their own to make themselves rich?
Definitely, that's in the Bible. It's supported in the Bible.
So it was okay to do that?
There's a punishment.
Oh,
It's a punishment. We are serving a punishment.
Wow.
These people are serving a punishment right now. Watch.
I got Deuteronomy 28.
Real quick, let me get this to
The
bring
blessings
that,
of obedience
and then you get that.
and the blessings of the curses of disobedience.
Yeah, he told us to bring us into Egypt again with ships.
Huh?
Watch this.
Oh,
Watch
that's
this.
in Deuteronomy 28?
Yeah. Well, we'll break that down too. Watch this. Baruch 4 and 6. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved God to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies.
So it's like we're cursed.
You're under the curses. Moses said that the
I keep
blessings
asking people,
and the curses would
I'm
befall
asking
you.
were we cursed because we are black? They said, no, but now you tell me we cursed because we disobeyed
Because you
God.
sinned. Get that?
This is Deuteronomy
So,
chapter
is
28.
there a way
Let him
that
read
he's
this
going to bring us out of this curse?
Well,
I'm gonna start at
the truth is special. What?
You see where I'm going, right?
I know exactly where you're going.
I'm gonna start at 15. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now I'm gonna jump to 68.
And there's more curses than blessings for disobedience.
Now get Revelation 11 because he's going to go into Deuteronomy 20 and 68. You go there.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Now, it says, this is a curse, right? It said the Lord will bring you into Egypt again with ships. Now, did they need ships to get to Egypt? No, they didn't need ships. So this is talking about something else. And we know that there was no second Egyptian slavery of the Israelites, right? So this is talking about something completely different, right? Get that? Watch. I'm gonna show you.
This is Revelations 11 and 7. Actually, 8, right? Yeah, sorry. 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the streets of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
So this land that we're in right now is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. You can easily see that this place is Sodom.
Oh yes.
You can
It's all
now,
around you.
now Egypt
Men line
represents.
with men, women line
Yeah.
with them women. And they have no open shame about it.
No.
It's almost like the Bible said they're turned over to a reprobate mind.
Yeah, that's Romans.
Yeah.
That's Romans. Now, it said that it's spiritually Sodom and it's spiritually Egypt. Now, Egypt represents slavery. Now, you
Oh,
take
it does?
yeah,
Wow.
the house of bondage,
Gotcha.
right? Now, when you look at the back of a
But
dollar
they
bill,
said 400 years they were in bondage.
yeah,
So why would they say that? And then the Lord came and delivered them. So if that's the case, how can we say we're still in bondage?
because you're in a different captivity now.
Oh.
This is see when you read through the Bible, the nation of Israel was constantly going into slavery. The nation of Israel been under slavery.
Being punished.
We're always being punished. Always
But
being
how can
punished.
that be God's chosen people? We still in
Because this is
I don't understand that.
Yeah,
Where's the blessings of God in there?
they're coming. They're coming. We gotta go through this. Look, think about it this way. Wait, let me think about this. Look at the kingdom that we're in right now.
Ooh, that's a hard pill to swallow that, boy. That's a wake up.
Look at the kingdom that we're in right now. Every law, every statute, every commandment, every judgment that's in the Bible is broken under this white man's society. Just how tall the buildings are is breaking the law. Building houses together, breaking the law.
It's almost like the Tower of Babel. God confused the languages because they want to go as high. You understand?
This is Babylon.
That's why you got the
Modern day Babylon.
This is modern day Babylon. This is also
But I
the
thought
revival
God
of the law.
destroyed Babylon when he destroyed
Get-
Iraq. What's the not Iraq?
It's in Iraq.
Iraq, yeah. I thought that's Babylon.
The Medes,
Still,
the
Medes
Medes
and-
took down Babylon, right?
Okay.
Now, when you go into Isaiah, what is it, 50 and 14? Try 50 and 14. It tells you that Babylon's going to be turned into a desert. That nobody will ever inhabit Babylon again. Now, are there people living in Iraq today?
Yes, it is.
So that's not what it's talking about. It's a different prophecy. See, the prophets got
They are the most evil piece. Iraqis, they just love blowing up people.
no, white people love blowing up people.
Who?
It's white people.
Oh, is that what it is?
Look, man.
Caucasians?
Yeah,
The Caucasus Mountains?
the people that are running the world right now, the ones that's in the land of Israel right now, that's the synagogue of Satan.
It has to be because they feel like they are supreme being. Supreme being.
That's what I was going into in 2 Thessalonians.
Woo!
Get that?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump back to that.
That's some deep stuff.
Like we just scratched the surface. We're just scratching the surface.
You should go to church. Church should be.
Yeah, mentally. It sets your mind free. Because you know what's going on. You know what. Now, how you gonna be saved? Is you gotta get this understanding. It tells you gotta reform your heart. You gotta get up out of this way of thinking and get into this way of thinking. You gotta understand the truth, right? Because the Lord, so-called Jesus Christ, He is these scriptures.
Why they put a color on Jesus?
Why? Because the color matters. Why they make them white?
Yeah, that's all I'm
Exactly. There you go.
This is second
All these
Thessalonians.
questions are right on with these questions.
Yeah, they are. Everything's in the Bible.
Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed,
Satan, right?
the son of perdition.
The son, that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, right? Talking about a man, all right? Before
What
you,
is tradition?
Destruction.
destruction,
Okay.
son of destruction. Get Isaiah 14.
I was already going there.
Con.
The fall of Satan?
Yeah, but you got to understand words, bro. You got to understand words when it talks about.
And Ezekiel chapter 28.
When you go into the word Lucifer, it means light bearer.
Yeah.
Now, if you
are
have
the son of the morning, right?
If you have, if they also call Jesus the son of the morning, the bright and the morning star,
Right.
because he has the light. Well, the people that are in power today, they have the light. They understand what's going on. They're running the world into the grave of Jesus. Okay?
What is that?
I'm gonna explain it.
This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven.
Want to be like God.
I will exalt my throne above the stars
Right.
of the Most High. I will also sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
So he's sitting right now on the mount of the congregation because he has Israel in slavery by
Right,
so-called
son of a
blacks, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. He still has them in slavery to this day, refuses to let them go. Won't give them back who they are, doesn't want you to know who you actually are. What we're doing right now is a threat because we're enlightening you. We're giving you a free thinking mind.
So
Now,
literally, you're a threat to Satan.
I'm a threat we're a threat to this devil.
Republican enemy number one.
Public enemy. Now, when it says, I will ascend above the heights of the stars.
But they can't touch you because you're covered
They're
by
going to try
God.
to soon, but
You're
right
covered.
now they
You're
can't.
covered by God.
Well, we're not going to go into that right now.
Okay.
But it says we'll ascend to the heights of the heavens, right? Above the stars. Who's got space stations and satellites in the air right now? Who started that? What people on the earth?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
It says, Yet thou shalt be brought down to the hell. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee,
Now listen very carefully. Go ahead.
and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners?
Is this the man that did all of these things? Open not the house of
Does it
his
say
prison.
spirit? It said
It
man.
said man. A man is upon the earth. That did make kingdoms shake. That did make the earth to tremble. To turn cities into a wilderness. Who's going around to all these other countries dropping bombs on them? Take a look at Syria. It's a pile of fucking rubble.
Yeah.
Who's turning the earth into a wilderness? Who's cutting down all the trees? Who's polluting the water? Who's spraying shit in the air?
Man.
What man? What man? Who's got their image painted as the Lord? That false image painted as the Lord. See, now you're starting to get. This is something that a lot of people have trouble with. There's a lot of people that have trouble saying,
still.
right? Because that's who's ruling society. You feel like, well, if I say that, then I become I hate you, right? Well, the thing about it is
Hold up,
God
do you know
hates you.
the 12 tribes of Israel were all Africans? Your initial?
We're not even doing
I'm just telling you, if you don't know the history, then you don't know the history.
That's
But that's why,
But we don't want to know the history.
well, I'm a Muslim, I'm Muslim.
We don't want to know the history.
You're a Muslim.
Salam alaikum.
All right, cool.
Salam alaikum.
We're trying to.
So y'all are Jews, right?
Israelites.
Israel. Oh, that's in that hemisphere, it was all African. You can believe what you want to be. You can't change
You
history.
can believe what you don't believe
You
too.
can't change history. Try to change history.
See, this is spiritual. This is spiritual because a lot of Israelites, you know about the Moors Empire. They were Muslims. They like all this Egyptology. You had Israelites that went back to
Actually,
Egypt.
what tribe did that come out of?
Moors.
Muslim.
They were Judah. They were Judites.
Well, who?
They're from the tribe of Judah.
The Moors.
Judah?
Yeah, they're from the
How,
tribe of Judah.
how did they get caught up in?
There would be a
They
falling
teach
away.
hate. They teach separation and division.
So does the Bible. So does the Bible. Let's break down who the white man is according to the Bible. Okay? Because before white people sprang into existence, there was no such thing as a white person except for if you have maybe leprosy. Right? That was the only way. Now, as a nation, as a people, as a whole, nobody was white. You see what I'm saying? According to the way this world says it, right? So we're gonna tell you where this came about.
This is Genesis 25, verse 19. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padan Aram, the sister to Laban the Syrian. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said,